Hey, it's Dr. Joseph with SCP, and today I wanted to talk to you about trigger pointing. In this video, we're going to go over trigger point balls that we use here, pros, the cons, which ones I like to use for which body parts, which ones I would prefer not to use, and where you can get them. So the four types that we have here today, we're going to go over some other ones that we use in another video: tennis ball, a lacrosse ball, a baseball, and then a softball. Easy to get. You don't have to order them on Amazon, and you probably have one or more of these at your house. And the reason why we're doing these videos is because with our patients here at the clinic, we want to make sure you have all the tools that you need at home to help yourself feel better. So if you can't get to us, these are the things that you can do. And we'll be doing a series of videos of how to help yourself at home. And today we're starting with trigger pointing. Okay, the first one is a tennis ball. Again, you probably have this at your house already, but so some of the pros that I like about the tennis ball is that they're soft, they're squishy. You can use them on body parts that are a little more sensitive. One of the favorite ones that I like to use on the bottom of the foot. You put it on the floor, roll out the bottom of the foot, the plantar fascia, where people walk. And if you're dealing with plantar fasciitis, it hurts when you get out of the bed in the morning, great to have it by your bed. Roll your foot out just a few minutes before you even step down. Another part is the forearms. And again, it's a lot of spots that are pretty sensitive. So bottom of the foot, forearms, some of the hips. And then also, if you're new to this, if you don't trigger point that often with a ball, if you don't even use a foam roller, and you're gonna get into using something more specific like a ball, you start with a tennis ball. Now, one of the things I don't like about using tennis balls is sometimes they're a little too soft. For me, if I'm gonna use it for my thighs, my back, my hamstrings, it's a little too soft and I don't feel like I'm getting deep work. That's why we use some of the other balls. The next one is gonna be a lacrosse ball. So a lacrosse ball, very about this, similar in size to the tennis ball. You can use it just about anywhere that you would use a tennis ball, but if you want a little deeper pressure, a little more firm in the tissue that you're working, use a lacrosse ball. The other really good thing I like about the lacrosse balls is because they're kind of a rubber, they stick to walls. So if you're using up against the wall, it's not gonna roll out from under your back, or if you're even on the floor, it won't slip out and you might not hurt yourself. So tennis ball, lacrosse ball, you can use them on the same spots, bottom of the foot, hamstrings, the back. It gets a little deeper, it's a little more firm. The next one that we're going to go over is a baseball. Again, very easy to get. Again, you probably have one at your house, but a difference between a baseball and a lacrosse ball, a baseball is just a little bit bigger. So if you're trying to work a lacrosse ball, for me personally, if I'm working my hip flexor right here on the front, the lacrosse ball is a little too small, I want to go with a baseball. And then if that doesn't work, it'll be our next one, which we'll talk about in a second. One of the things that I don't like a baseball for is if you're doing it on a wall, it's very slippery. It might slip out from under you, but if you're careful and you're experienced, the baseball should be just fine. They have the same density, so really deep pressure in the muscle that you're trying to work. And the last one that we're gonna go over in this video is a softball. Softball, obviously bigger than a baseball. It's got the same density, just as firm. Not going to be used for any of the small muscle groups, so the bottom of the foot, the hands, anywhere in the arms, going to be a little too small for. Thighs, the low back, the hamstrings, and the glutes, great for the softball. One of my favorite things is that you can add a little more pressure because there has a bigger surface area, so you can put a little more pressure in whatever muscle you're working for the softball. And again, with all of these, you want to make sure you're safe. Don't roll over any bone whenever you're doing this, so stay off the center of the spine. If it feels like a bone, don't trigger point it. So that was the review of what I would use each ball for, what I like about them, what I don't like about them. Again, all of these, easy to get. You don't have to spend a lot of money to help yourself at home. If you want to spend $20+ on something maybe you order on Amazon, that's fine. It probably works just as well, but you don't have to. The two things to always remember when you're doing trigger point balls, where you're going to get the most benefit, is doing it consistently and doing it correctly. If you want to learn how to do it correctly, check out all of our other videos that we have on trigger pointing in the body, or you can check out our website where we have our programs at scplife.com.